I got a few things. I got a few things to talk about when it comes to Lomachenko and Devin the Dream Haney, and we may pick a few scabs here. The huge positive I felt with Devin Haney becoming undisputed had a lot to do with Lomachenko. Now, I do think Lomachenko would fight anyone. But I know for sure we'll get Lomachenko versus Devin Haney if Devin Haney's undisputed. Oh my God. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, flex on him. Hold on. I think Loma would fight Devin Haney if he had the belts. I know Devin Haney and Loma would fight with Devin Haney having the belts. Not just because Devin Haney would fight Lomachenko, he's been wanting Lomachenko, but also because the fighters aren't usually afraid, and what's in the interest of the promoter is what happens. Now, Lomachenko is very much in the interest of Bob Arum. Bob Arum, that seems to be, before he retires, the last thing he wants, and that's Lomachenko as undisputed. Lomachenko wants to be undisputed. A lot of people, and this is going to pick some scabs, a lot of people thought Lomachenko was afraid of Devin Haney when actually he was going for undisputed. From his perception of what he thought the franchise title meant, he said, yeah, I'll fight Teofimo Lopez and become undisputed. All right? Which didn't happen. Teofimo Lopez kicked his ass. But what I'm saying is, Lomachenko always wanted undisputed. If Lomachenko goes for Devin Haney, if they want to make that fight and Lomachenko just doesn't turn it down and he actually fights Devin Haney, then you know he wanted undisputed. Wasn't really afraid of anybody. He wanted undisputed, right? You can't be afraid of Devin Haney when you are more in your prime, but not afraid of Devin Haney coming from the Ukraine without a tune-up. And no, he was never afraid of him. I think if Lomachenko fights Devin Haney, he wanted undisputed more than anything, and that's just obvious. Let me see what you have to say. As much as I give Haney for becoming undisputed, I just can't put him over Loma for overall accomplishment. Well, undisputed is the Loma best resume at 130. Oh yeah, best resume at 135. Yeah. But Devin Haney is, ESPN got Lomachenko over Devin Haney. They don't even got Devin Haney in the top 10, I don't think. Devin Haney, to me, if you're undisputed, that means you're the champion of the world. If he's the guy at lightweight. No, if you want to say who you kind of see as the guy, that's a personal thing. Who is the guy? ShowBizz, please explain to these busters how Devin got the WBC strap in the first place. Yeah. Well, Devin Haney got the interim title. All right. Like I said, he deserved the interim title. Fought for the interim title. So with him getting the interim title, Bob Arum, then because Lomachenko had the WBC strap, Bob Arum then suggested to Lomachenko and to Mauricio Suleiman that Lomachenko should be designated as the franchise champion, the WBC franchise champion, which they created really for Canelo Alvarez in mind. Bob Arum, he requested for that. They elevated Lomachenko to franchise champion. When they did so, Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC, they asked Bill Haney and Devin Haney, what do they want to do? Would they want to vacate the WBC interim title for the WBC full-time title? And how they explained it to Bill Haney and Devin Haney, he felt, oh, okay, then we'll be the champions. Sure, I'll be champion. And then Devin Haney dropped the interim title and was elevated to WBC champion. When that happened, he realized he painted himself in a corner, right? He has the mandatories, but he's not. He thought that would put him in line to really fight Lomachenko. I'm the WBC champion now. Now we can fight. No, Lomachenko as the franchise champion doesn't have to fight him. There's no mandatories there. So Devin Haney, they were elevated to this WBC title, and there was no real perks. He's defending it like a champion, but he's not the man. The man is Lomachenko. Lomachenko thought that he would be able to fight Teofimo Lopez and become undisputed. He was going to fight Teofimo Lopez anyway. If he was elevated to franchise or not, if he stayed the WBC champion, unification bouts trump mandatories. He would never have to fight Devin Haney. So he didn't have to be elevated to franchise title champion to fight Devin Haney. Unifications trumped mandatories. That was going to be for undisputed, him and Teo. So he didn't have to be elevated to not fight Devin Haney. He could have went right there, undisputed, right then and there, which he thought that's what he was doing. And then that's when the WBC Mauricio Suleiman confused everybody and then said, oh, this fight is for undisputed. And that's when things got right. That's about right? Which do you think would be best for boxing? Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. Victory-wise, which do you think would be best for boxing? Devin Haney or Lomachenko? Devin would be best for boxing. Loma, but if Haney wins, why would anyone be mad? I'm neutral on it, but I think maybe Loma 55-45. Haney winning. Yeah, I think Haney winning would be best for boxing. Just his youth, and the fact that he can go up to 140 and all that stuff. I think Devin Haney winning since he's younger. Yeah, probably Devin. I think Devin winning would be best for boxing. Okay. Lomachenko winning would shoot him into a level of all-time legacy. Let me tell you what I mean. If Lomachenko were to beat Devin Haney and become undisputed, okay, it makes you really think about that Teofimo Lopez fight and that shoulder, like I said. Lomachenko being undisputed, he would definitely, and beating the young Devin Haney, who's undisputed, look like he's very difficult to beat. Lomachenko will still have work to do. He'll have to fight a Tank Davis. If he were to do something like that and beat a Tank Davis or something like that, then that's all he really needs. He wouldn't really need a Ryan Garcia. He wouldn't really need revenge for Teofimo Lopez. He wouldn't really need anything else, really, at that point. Devin Haney, I think, will pose some serious problems for Lomachenko because of his size. And the timing of his jab. His jab is insane. All right. But also his overall IQ. Devin Haney, his father, love you, boy. That's my guy. Devin Haney, we have a decent relationship. I like him. It's just that we don't communicate all the time or anything like that, but we good. I like those boys. If I were to put money on it, I'll put my money on Lomachenko to beat Devin Haney. I actually see Lomachenko versus Tank Davis as a harder fight. But if Devin Haney were to beat Lomachenko, I think it's better for boxing. Devin Haney can then go on and start shaping. He would surpass Shakur Stevenson at that point. And he could go on and start shaping a Floyd Mayweather-esque type of career, especially when he's been baptized in the sport by the great ones. He's been knighted by the great ones. Iron Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Zab Judah. You see all these guys next to Haney since he was a little guy. Same thing as Tank Davis, though. Tank Davis had the same type of support. There is a crazy amount of talent and skill there with these young boys. And it's disgusting that Tank Davis hasn't had a rematch fight with Ryan Garcia, let alone the first one, right? Tank Davis and Loma should have been happened. I think Loma dog walks Haney. I don't. Not at all. I don't. He clinches too much, and Loma is a master at controlling the clinch. Oh, I see that. And Loma angles, I think he'll be landing some good counter shots over Haney's jab. I do. The Matrix. Let me see.